Hello everybody and welcome to 30 minutes of yoga today. It's not a very nice day outside. We've been really lucky with some nice weather, but yeah, not so great today. It's a perfect day to be indoors and to be enjoying some yoga. So no props required today. I will say right up front that my grandkids are visiting and my grandson may be wanting to come up and join us at some point, although my husband is trying to keep him downstairs. So hopefully we have no interruptions, and I think we can begin. So we're going to start class today lying on your back. So go ahead and get on down to the mat on your back, finding a comfortable position. Let your legs spread out wide or just letting the feet fall. If you're taking care of your back, maybe you might want to bend your knees and tent them together for support. Otherwise, just stretching them out, letting your feet fall. Hands can be at your sides. Let's just take a moment to just tuck the shoulders under. So rolling the shoulders back, tucking them under, and maybe lifting the head to lengthen the neck and get a nice comfortable position to just make your way into the space that you're in this morning. So notice where your body is making connection to your mat. All the different areas like your shoulder blades and your hips and the backs of your legs, your arms, your hands. Notice where they're connecting with the mat and allow them to become heavy. The floor beneath you will support you, so just let go and relax and release all tension. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and close your eyes or gently looking down, having a soft gaze, and begin to bring your awareness to your breath. We're not trying to change the breath in any way, just noticing it. The gentle motion of your breath as it comes in and out of your nose. Maybe noticing where your breath is landing in your body, maybe your belly, maybe your chest. And as you notice areas of tension, send your breath there. Soften the area, release the tension, and relax. Take a nice deep breath in, filling the belly, filling the chest up, holding the breath at the top. Open your mouth and let it all out. And come back to your regular rhythm of breath. And with your next inhale, let's take a nice deep inhale as we raise our arms over top of the head and stretching, a nice full body stretch with the inhale. And as you exhale, just let it all go. Relax, soften. And then inhale and reach up, reaching the toes in the opposite direction. And as you exhale, bring your knees into your chest, hug them in tight and rock them side to side. Releasing any tension in lower back, finding that nice soft spot there. And maybe you even take small circles in one direction and then in the other direction. Come to stillness. And extend your feet straight up into the sky. Flex your toes towards your shins so that the bottoms of your feet are reaching up towards the sky. And then go ahead and point your toes. Flex them again and point them. And if you need to hold behind your thighs for a little bit of support, go ahead and do that and continue to flex and point. Now let's just start to circle the ankle in one direction and then in the other. And then come to stillness. Bring the knees back into the chest again, rocking side to side just for a moment. And eventually rolling either onto your right side or your left. And coming up to tabletop position. So in tabletop position, we want to have our knees directly below the hips. And we want to have our, turn this down, we want to have our hands below the shoulders. Spread the fingers out nice and wide, pressing into the fingers, pressing into the knuckles of the hands so that you can take the pressure off of your wrists when you're in this position. And as you inhale, lower the belly and raise your gaze into a cat. As you exhale, tuck in the tailbone, bring the belly button up and chin comes to chest for cat. Inhaling for cow, lower the belly, rising the chest, raising up the gaze. And then exhaling for cat, bringing the belly button up, tucking in the pelvis, chin comes to chest. And go ahead and do a few more of those, making sure that you're pushing away from the mat so that your shoulders aren't coming up around your ears as you're doing this. So we're doing a nice extension and flexion of the spine, warming it up. Great thing to do when you sit all day. We'll do a couple more rounds of this, connecting the breath with the movement. And then eventually just come to a natural position with flat back. We're going to take our toes together and we're going to take our knees out wide. Coming into a child's pose here. Take your knees out as wide as is comfortable. And then bringing your bum back as you reach your arms forward and lower your belly down. And eventually your forehead down to the mat. Coming into child's pose, and we want to make sure we're comfortable here. So if you find that this is a strain on your hips, you can always bring your knees in a little bit closer. And if it's a strain on your arms, you can bring your hands in and put them underneath your forehead. We're going to stay here just for a breath or two. Breathe into your belly on your inhale and really let it go on the exhale. And as you inhale, come on back to tabletop position with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Let's extend the right leg out, straight out, and then bring the toes down. And as you bring the toes down, we're going to push the heel back. Keep pushing the heel back till you feel a nice stretch in through the calf. Just holding it there for a moment. Try not to hold any tension there. And then come back and lift that leg back up. And we're going to hover it over top of the left leg and drop it down on the outside of the left side of your mat and take your gaze over your left shoulder. Really taking a nice stretch into the right. You might even want to just lean that right hip a little bit to get a nice rounded, curved lengthening of the right side of your body. And then lift the leg up and bring it back over. And as you do this, take the leg and bring it up between your hands. So you might want to take your left leg back a little bit. Knee should be over top of the ankle. And we're coming up onto our fingertips here. And just go ahead and press the left thigh down. Let gravity kind of pull it down. Feeling a nice stretch in your hip flexor there. And then gather some strength in your legs and in your core to pull yourself up into a low lunge position, bringing the hands to heart center. And then if it feels okay for you, go ahead and bring the arms up overhead. Low lunge, shoulders should be over top of your hips. And you can also take your gaze up, maybe taking a little bit of a back bend here in your low lunge. Just take a nice deep breath in and out. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. We're going to lift up the back knee. So the left knee is going to come up. You're coming up onto the toes. And leaving the left hand on the mat, maybe bring it a little bit closer to your right foot. We're going to take your right arm and we're going to twist. So we're going to turn to the right, opening up the body, reaching up, really reaching away from the body. Doesn't matter how high you come up. You just want to have that nice spinal rotation happening. Hold there for a moment. Don't stop breathing. And then bring the hand back down. And we're going to step back into downward facing dog. So this is the first downward facing dog today. So go ahead and pedal your feet a little bit. Get comfortable. Your hands should be about shoulder width apart and your feet about hip width apart. And don't worry about getting your heels down. That may come. Just press the chest through and be looking back at your feet. Relax the head, relax the neck. And wherever you are, come to stillness. And we're going to come forward now into plank position. So coming forward to plank, go ahead and lower your knees down if that's more comfortable for you. Flip the feet over so the tops of your feet are on your mat. Let's exhale as we lower down, keeping the elbows close to the ribs. Lower, lower, lower. Forehead comes to the mat. And then pressing into the feet, pressing into the hips. Inhaling, lift the gaze up, lift the heart up. Coming into cobra. And tucking the toes and exhaling. We're just going to push right back into child's pose again. So taking the knees wide, toes come together, feet come back, forehead to mat. Take a nice deep breath here. Just going to take a moment to catch our breath. Maybe scan your body, see where you're feeling. Your practice today, maybe where you might be still feeling some tension, let that go. And then let's rise back up to tabletop. So once again, arms, shoulders distance apart, feet hip width apart. Spread those fingers wide, pressing the fingers and the knuckles into the mat. And let's take the left leg this time, extend it out, drop the toe down to the mat, and begin to push your heel back. And keep pushing back till you feel that nice stretch in the calf. Just holding it there for a moment. Whew. And then come on back up. Lift that leg up. Cross it over the right leg. Touching it down on the outside of your mat. And then take your gaze over your right shoulder. Once again, you can lean your left hip out a little ways if you'd like. So that you've got a nice curve here. Really getting a nice lengthening of the side body on your left side this time. And then bring your gaze back, bring the foot back, and this time stepping the left foot up, helping it if you need to. You're going to bring that left foot up between your hands on the right. And making sure that the knee is over the ankle, you want to let gravity just kind of push your right hip down. And if you find that you're coming forward, maybe just move that right knee back a little ways. And just let gravity push it down, staying on your fingertips. Nice lunge here, getting good stretch in that hip flexor on the right leg. And then gathering strength in your legs and strength in your core, begin to raise your body up and bring your hands to heart center for low lunge. And if it's in your practice and you're feeling okay and you've got your balance, go ahead and lift your arms up, shoulders over the waist. Go ahead and take a little bit of a back bend. Take a nice deep breath in here. And as you exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. We're going to lift the right knee up, coming up onto the toes, taking the right hand beside, a little bit closer to the foot. Let's take the left hand and we're going to do a nice twist here, raising the arm up. Once again, it doesn't have to be really straight. Wherever it takes you is good. We're concentrating here on the rotation of the spine. And of course, you are going to feel some strength in that right arm that's holding you here, it's supporting you. And then go ahead and bring that hand down. Step the left leg back, coming into downward dog. Paddle it out. Fingers are spread apart, pressing into the fingertips and the knuckles. Pressing your chest back towards the tops of your legs. Relax your neck. Keep paddling it out. And eventually coming to stillness, let's come forward into plank. Lower the knees. Keeping your elbows close to your sides, your ribs. Lower down slowly, carefully, till your head comes down to the mat. Flip your feet if they aren't already, pressing into the tops of your feet, tops of your hips. Lift your gaze, lift your heart, coming into cobra. Tuck the toes, and this time we're going to push right back into down dog. Just for a moment to transition here, we're going to look to the top of the mat and walk the feet up. So we're just walking the feet up to the top. Let your feet be about hip distance apart. We're going to come into ragdoll here. So we're taking the opposite elbows into the opposite hands, and we're forward folding with bent knees. Really letting everything go. Keep breathing. Breathing can feel a little constrained when you're in this position, but it actually is massaging all the internal organs in there. You can sway if you like. Staying here for another moment or two. And then release the arms, bend the legs generously, and rise all the way up. Bringing palms together on top. And as you bring the hands down to heart center, also begin to bend your knees and come down into chair position. So it's basically a squat here. You want your weight to be in your heels as you come down. Engage your core and just squeeze everything towards the center. So you're squeezing your thighs together, maybe even squeezing your palms together. Everything driving towards the center. And maybe come down a little bit more if you can. We're only going to be here for a moment. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, rise up. And just lower the arms to your side, coming to mountain. Let's take a generous step back with the right leg. We're stepping all the way back. We're going to come into a crescent lunge here. So we're coming up on the back toe. Knee is over the left ankle. Once again, when you're feeling your balance, you can always take a wider stance if you need to. Just bring those arms up overhead for a full crescent lunge pose. Reaching up, let the shoulders relax down, opening up the heart. Nice deep breath in, And as you breathe out, come forward with your arms. Let them rotate all the way around to the back, like you're flying a plane or you're Superman. And as you inhale, raise the arms up, back to Crescent Lunge. Let's do that one more time. Exhaling, bring the arms down, reaching towards the back. And inhaling, rise back up. And then lower the arms. Take a step forward. We're going to go into tree pose on one side here. So keeping the weight in the left foot, we're just going to bring that right toe up. And we're going to rotate the hip to the right with a bent knee. And you can stay here, or you can bring it up to your shin. Or if it's in your practice to go all the way up to the inner thigh, go ahead and do that. And once you have your balance, hands can come to heart center. We're doing tree pose here. Once again, really press your leg, your bottoms or your foot, on the inside of your thigh or the inside of your calf, wherever it's landing. And you always have the option here in tree pose to become a tree. Raise your branches. And then go ahead and lower the arms. Bring the foot back. Just shake it out. Okay, coming back to tree pose, just standing here. We're going to take a generous step back with the left leg this time. So same thing, we're coming up to Crescent Lunge. So coming up on the toe, bending the right knee so that it's over top of the ankle, and raise the arms up. Full Crescent Lunge. Once again, squeeze those thighs towards each other. Really engage the core. And go ahead and take a bit of a back bend if you like. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms down. And we're going to keep bringing them down until they're reaching out towards the back. Inhale, raise up, back to Crescent Lunge. Exhale, bringing the arms down. A little bit of balance involved here. Inhaling, rise back up, bringing the arms up once again. And then lower the arms. Take a step forward. We're going to keep the weight in the right leg this time. Raising the left leg, bending the knee onto the toe. Open up the left hip. And then go ahead and take that leg either to your thigh or to your calf. And then bring the hand to heart center. I'm just holding here for a moment. And once again in tree pose, option to bring your hands overhead. And just holding it here, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, bring the arms down, bring the foot back in. Shake it out. And let's just take a nice deep breath in and out. And let's just go into one last vinyasa. So as you raise your arms up, inhaling, exhale as you lower down, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Let's step back to plank. Go ahead and lower the knees down, keeping the elbows close, lowering down gently, slowly, all the way to the mat. Forehead comes down. Inhaling, pressing in through the tops of the feet and the hips, coming up to Cobra. Tuck the toes, and all the way back to Downward Dog. From here, let's just go ahead and lower the knees down. Walk the hands back, coming back into tabletop once again. Bringing the toes together, knees out. We're going to come back to child's pose. And just taking a moment here again to catch our breath. Coming towards the end of our 30-minute practice. Seeing if maybe we've been able to release all the tension and come to a place of peace today. let's come back up to tabletop. We're going to do spinal, oh gosh, I forget the name of it. Reach your right leg out, keeping your foot flexed, finding your balance, pushing away from the mat so you're not sinking down, pushing away. And when you're ready, take the left arm out so you're shaking the hand of the person in front of you. Taking a nice long stretch here, really engaging the core. And then bring your hand back, bring your knee back, and let's do the other side. So pushing away from the mat, engaging the core. Let's take the left leg, extending it out, flexed foot. And then option to bring the right hand forward like you're shaking a hand. Just hold here for a moment. Keep breathing. And then bring the hand down. Bring the knee down. Keep the knees and the hips where they are. And let's just walk the hands forward a little bit. We're going to come into kind of a puppy pose here. So we're just going to lower the head down. Feeling a nice stretch in through the lower back. And then come back up and swing the feet around to the front. Go ahead and take the soles of your feet, bring them together with your knees bent. We're going to do a little bit of a butterfly here. So making sure that you're on your sit bones, maybe just lift up. Make sure you're not sitting on the coccyx back there. You want to make sure you're on your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, just begin to fold forward from the hips. And then go ahead and bring your head down. Holding it here just for a moment. Continue to breathe. Feeling the stretch in your hips. And then rise back up, extend the legs, and go ahead and make your way onto your back. Keep the legs bent. We're going to do a bridge pose. So you want to keep your legs about hip distance apart. Your fingertips are going to come towards your heels. They don't have to touch. Let's roll the shoulder blades underneath. And with an inhale, we're going to begin to lift the hips up. And once they're up, we're going to keep them up. Imagine you have a ball between your thighs and you're squeezing them together as you continue to push the hips up, pressing into the soles of the feet, pressing up. Release any tension in your neck, in your head. And just feel this in through the lower body, your hamstrings, your glutes. And then as you release very slowly and gently, one vertebrae at a time. The last thing to come down is your lower back. And then bring your feet to the edges of your mat with your knees still bent. And begin to windshield wipe the knees side to side. Get a little massage in the hips here. A little release in the spine. And when you come to the right, just let both knees fall to the right. Reach your arms out to the sides. Lift your head and take your gaze over your left shoulder, lowering your head. Feeling a nice twist. Getting ready for Shavasana. Releasing all the tension. Feeling the energy that we've created during our practice today. Lift the head, bring it back to center, and begin to windshield Wipe the legs back and forth again, eventually landing them over to the left. Lift your head and gaze over your right shoulder. Let your head come down and relax. Maybe as you exhale, you just release a little bit more. You may notice that you're holding tension. You're trying to hold your knees up, or you're holding a part of your body in position. As you release your breath, release the tension. And then lift your head, bring it back to the center. Bring your knees back to center. Bring them into your chest, hug them tight, rock side to side, just evening out the lower back. And as you come to center, come to stillness, extend your legs out. Let your arms fall to the sides of your body. You can have palms up if you want to receive energy, or palms down if you want to feel grounded. Let the feet just fall naturally to the sides, or bend the knees, and let them tent together if you're taking care of your back. Lift your head, feel the length at the back of your neck. Roll your shoulders underneath. Gently close your eyes and let the silence and stillness of Shavasana take you where you want to go, and I will call you back when the time is right. Reach for the stars. Give yourself permission to live a big life. Dream big, wish big, hope big. Reach for the stars and do not set limits on what you can achieve. Protect what sets your soul on fire and be brave enough to go after it. Always remember that a dream doesn't come true without a dreamer, and an idea doesn't happen without imagination, and magic doesn't exist unless there's someone to believe. Always dream, always imagine, and always believe. Believe in the power of your dreams, believe in the power of possibilities, and above everything else, believe in yourself. Begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, rotate your wrists, bring yourself back into the room. Maybe even rubbing your hands together, creating a little bit of heat and placing them over top of your eyes, and then gently opening your eyes. And when you're ready, maybe bring your knees into your chest and roll one way or the other, bringing yourself into a seated position. And once you're here, let's take a nice deep breath in together. And an exhale. One more time, breathing in. Bring the palms together and bring them down to heart center. And I thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you enjoyed your practice. And remember what I said, always believe in yourself, if nothing else. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day, everybody. See you soon.